Good morning, everyone. This is Kathy Kidd with the Penny Foundation, and we're out here in the park sitting with Miss Tanya, who is going to share her life story with us through an interview of where she has started from and how she has come today to be the lovely and wonderful woman that she is today. So thank you so much, Tanya, for coming here.
Well, thank you for asking me out.
Taking time out. Sure. And so, okay, well, let's get started.
Okay.
I think what I'll ask you is to tell us about your journey, what started you on your journey with the drugs, and start from there.
Okay. I was pregnant at 17, and I was lucky enough to have my mom there with me to get me through everything. It did cause a divorce between my parents, and after that, after I graduated high school with the help of my mom, I was living on my own with my daughter and started bartending, and it was readily around me. It was available. It was everywhere, and it was given to me by the, the locals and things like that. And at that time, not knowing that I had gone through a bunch of stuff in my childhood that I have dealt with since then, I feel that was a huge reason that I turned to them. But now I am completely free from them. I've been off of them as of October of last year for 20 years.
Oh, isn't that amazing?
Yes.
That is a wonderful testimony right there.
Yes,
right
so
there.
It's possible. It's very possible. It takes a lot of hard work, and it takes a lot of dedication and a lot of desire to want to continue on with your life. I went into a very abusive relationship after that, and was able to get out of that as well after 10 years, though. It took a long time to get out of that, and that is where I'm at today, is healing from all of that. That out of all of it, going through everything is the hardest journey, is the healing and overcoming what you went through. So that's something that is very important and that I take very seriously now.
That is really a good point there, to take it seriously, for sure. So I think what I picked up, Tanya, when you were first talking, is that you said there were some things from your childhood that maybe were a reason as well to, push you toward substance dependency like that. Tell us a little bit.
There's a lot of alcoholism that runs through my family. I had a very close family member that still is a very bad alcoholic. So addiction does run through. And my parents divorced when I was in second grade. And so the back and forth together, being displaced in so many different schools, things that a lot of people go through now, it does affect your children. But I always put on the facade that, my life was great. I had loving parents and everything was just fine, when it wasn't. I was taught to suppress everything. And if I had to give you a reason of why, that was a huge reason why I turned to that, was just I had to keep in survival mode and keep going. And it was the worst thing I could have done.
Well, and also you had a child, you had someone that you were responsible for at that time. So, you felt like you had to suppress and bury all those feelings to keep going. Maybe didn't have to, but that's,
that's how I felt at the time.
Exactly.
Correct.
That's how you felt. So therefore, when you were on what were you were on?
I was on methamphetamine is what I was doing.
Methamphetamine. Yes. So did that make you feel numb, and it took away?
It did. It made me feel completely numb, and any problems that I had, I didn't care about. I didn't have to deal with them. It gave me the energy that I thought I needed to go to work and take care of my life. And little did I know I was destroying my life.
Well,
I was destroying everything about it.
What point in your life, Tanya, did you come to realize that this was destroying your life, destroying your health? How did you figure that
My
out?
mom confronted me one night.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That would be a
She
really
had come for a visit. She had come
reason.
for a visit, and she confronted me. And my mom was one person I never could keep things from. We did have a really close, good relationship, and I was very lucky. I was very lucky for that, and I know so many people don't have that. And so I told her. I told her everything that was going on, and she told me that she was going to take a leave from her job, which she did. She was working in Houston at the time, and I was living out of Houston.
That's amazing.
And she came and took care of my child while, I figured out what I was going to do, pretty much. About a week after that happened, I got a hold of some stuff that made me very sick, to the point I felt I needed to go to the hospital, but I didn't, because the only thought in my head was I was going to lose my child. So all that, in a nutshell, made me wake up and realize, oh, this is not, you're about to lose absolutely everything God has given you. So I went back and told my mom everything that happened, and she took care of me. She helped me get through everything that I needed to get through.
That gives me chill bumps, because that's you're very fortunate.
I am.
Because many of our parents,
am.
I've had experiences, say, okay, you've made your bed, you've lied in it. And of course we do suffer our consequences, that
absolutely.
is not...
And she did treat me like that. She was there for me. But she also, you made your bed, you're going to lie in it. When I did have my daughter, she didn't babysit my daughter for me. So I could go out on high school trips and go to prom. No, I still had to get a sitter. I worked, I paid,
Wow.
She made me do what I had to do. And I think because of that, because I was pushed to do it on my own.
That part,
yes, you made a mistake. Okay, everybody makes decisions in their life, but you also have to clean up your own mess.
Exactly.
And so with her, she was huge in my recovery, and she was huge in my life.
So what, at that point in your life, how old was your child then when you were going through recovery?
Oh, she was, it was about 3 years worth. So she was from 6 months almost to 4 years old.
Almost to 4 years old.
Yes.
Wow, that is amazing. And so now today she's turned out to be...
She is currently 23 years old and serves in the United States Navy.
Congratulations.
Yes,
thank you. That is just such an amazing story. So you hit your rock bottom, and that's when your mother said, okay, you're going to have to figure this out and do something about it.
Yes.
And I heard you say through the faith of God, so you had some faith.
Yes.
That you stood out, you cried out for help. Did you ever have to go into like a homeless shelter or anything like that?
I did not, but because I had my mom. But I know that there are, after talking to a few people and getting my story out there to some people in the past few years, there's not a lot of that out there. And they're also scared to take the step because they don't have the people behind them pushing them to do better. Yes, you have to own up to your mistakes, but you can also continue on through life.
So do you think that a home like what we're going to be building would have helped someone like yourself if you didn't have your mother with guidance?
Absolutely. My mother passed away back in 2006, so if it had been 5 to 6 years later of me going through all of this, then yes, I would have gone through it all on my own. And the home definitely, and knowing it was a safety net, that would have definitely helped. I know a lot of people that go through the addictions are scared to say anything. They feel shameful. So that's another big thing that I hope that the homes help with as well, is making them feel that it's okay. You're going to get better. We're going to help you get better, and you can live a healthy, happy life after this.
Oh, absolutely. With the counseling and social workers.
But you still have to work at it. It's a constant work, and it's a constant struggle. So if you're ever thinking of a relapse, or you're ever feeling like that's what you want to turn to again, you have to know it's okay to reach out and ask for help and talk to somebody. Always. I don't care how many years of sobriety you have, you can still always relapse. So
absolutely. And so that's what you do. It sounds like you had a good support system.
I did.
And plus you were willing, you were ready to make a change too.
That's right.
I think do you think that's like half of the battle won, when someone is, realizes it's like, I'm ready to change?
Absolutely.
And then doing the change is another step, of course, because it's not easy once the person becomes dependent on some kind of substance.
That's right.
So when you were you going through therapy at that time when
No.
you were, so you just did it on
No,
your own?
I did it on my own.
Wow.
But
did you go to any other support groups? Or
no,
anything?
and
No,
I
you
didn't.
just did
but
that on your own.
Yes, but I will say that alone right there was a hardship later on down in life that I faced because I suppressed all that again.
Oh, okay.
I got over it. I got done. I said, this isn't what I want to do anymore, but I never healed from it. I never dealt with it. And that's another big thing is, at my age now, I do deal with it and talk to groups and talk to counselors and things that I need to do for my mental health and my help. I used to be very ashamed of it, and I'm not anymore because it's my life.
Yes. And it made you who you are today.
Absolutely.
Because
it did.
Didn't you tell me that you have a career and that you might be extending that to do a different type of career now?
Absolutely. Well, I work for a school district right now, and I do love working around kids, but talking to older teens and young like 20s and 30s moms who have had young kids and been addicted and gone through the life that so many people I know have lived, it's pushed me to want to go further into counseling and mentoring, just to give them hope.
Isn't that amazing? That just makes my heart so warm. It's like it says, you take a bad thing or a thing and turn it in for good.
Well, and I've had an amazing group of women in my life the past couple of years that have also gone through their own, whether it be health or marriage issues, and we've all learned to come together and talk about our stories because no matter what you have gone through, there's hope in your story for somebody else. I learned that from very recently from a friend. So that the hope is definitely what you need to hold on to continue.
That is so amazing. And like you said, plus you had all of your support group.
I did.
But you always had that hope and faith.
You do.
That you would recover. You would get better.
Right.
You felt that you are going to, right?
I have to. I wanted to. I didn't want to feel like that. And I know it is hard and different for a lot of people. They don't have that desire. They don't have the want and the desire to, oh, well, you just don't understand. It's been so, I get it. Everybody's had a story. And like you said, until you reach that aha moment, this is what I want to do. I need to change. I have to change. So that's your step one. Step two is making the change. But step two never ends because you have to work at it every single day of your life.
Every single day of
your
life.
You do. And there's going to be horrible, horrible, rough days. And for anybody to say it's all gravy, that's a complete lie. At my age, 20 years clean and sober and away from an abusive relationship, I still have rough days now. So always look back and see that you're better than you used to be.
Oh, yes.
But also realize that you're still human and you're still going to struggle.
I love Joyce Meyer. Where she says, I'm not where I want to be, but at least I'm not where I used to be. It's not where we, our journey, because our life is a continuous journey.
Right. Absolutely.
So I wanted to go back a little bit, if we still have some time. When you were with your husband, was he on the meth as well? Was he doing
we were on it together up until when we got into a relationship, and then it stopped after that. So.
But he was just an abusive person.
Yes. Yes.
I've and being from backgrounds of domestic violence, it seems that sometimes the addiction and going into wrong relationships goes hand in hand. We gravitate to that, not knowingly.
Right.
But thank goodness, right. I'm a survivor too of domestic violence, that you can get out of it.
You can.
And get your mind right.
That's right.
You're not the one that caused, it takes two, but like you said, you have to get yourself right. And I believe what you're doing, and it's so amazing to have your mind right, then everything else will fall into place.
That right there is absolutely right. Even though I got away from the drugs and I got away from the physical abuse, it still stayed with me for years and years and years until you start healing from it and dealing.
Yes, and confronting.
Yes.
And I think that's the hardest trip. But I want to thank you so much today, Tanya, for sharing your story with me,
Well, thank
the Penny
you.
Foundation, and all the viewers.
Yes.
And I look forward that hopefully we can work together. Perhaps you could become, if you'd like to, an advocate with the women that are going to come to the home.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much. This has been wonderful.
Thank you.